I know what you're thinking, I've stolen my daughter's sunglasses. Get over it, she has. Yeah, I am down in the West Country. I am heading down to Two Drifters Distillery today. I thought I'd stop off at the amazing services. Genuinely probably one of the best services in the country. Beautiful setting, fresh air, farm shop, great food, lovely. I've fueled up and ready to go, so I am going to get back on the road and head down towards Exeter. Off we go to the Two Drifters Distillery. I have just arrived. I am absolutely shattered. That's a 6-hour drive for me along the motorway, but I am very excited. Today is a good day because we're at another rum distillery. Gemma and Russ Wakeham, I've heard so many lovely things about them. I'm really keen to hear about how they make rum because a lot of their social media talks about carbon capture, being carbon negative. They even pay for other companies to reduce carbon for them where they can't, and that's a big thing for them. So I'm really keen to hear about that side of things, keen to hear about why they started this in the first place, and to hear more about the positive impact that they're having in doing so. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to hear what they have to say. And then also, of course, about their rum and about how they produce it. Let's get inside and let's go meet Russ and Gemma. I think I found them. Even their unit looks like a ship.
Molasses is the raw ingredient, so...
Doesn't go off.
Is it really?
Our favourite piece of kit is the molasses pump, which is under there, which is absolutely essential.
So putting money where their mouth is, last August they came up with a new bottle from Allied Glass in Leeds, and that's important because it's relatively close to where they're producing it, so the transport of bottles is relatively low for their carbon. But this bottle is so light, which means that the cost for the planet is much less to transport these bottles. Everything they're doing is really about trying to minimize the impact they're having on the planet. Glycol on the chiller on the column that they've got there, glycol units for the chillers on this here, powered with electrics, heat exchangers, insulated vessels. When they finish their first wash run, they put their pot ale, their hot pot ale, through this heat exchanger there to heat the cold water from this tank, which then sits into the hot water tank. So they're recycling the energy. That hot water then gets pulled into this tank here where they mix their molasses, and the heat of the molasses allows the thick molasses to mix up. They circulate it through there as well, rather than having a propeller, and then from there it gets transferred into these fermentation tanks, of which they've got 4 of them. The last one behind me here, where it ferments up to a week. They reach about 10% ABV, which is really good. They then put it into their wash still here that they've got here. That they have, they've made this basically. I love this. I've never seen anything quite like it. It's an old kettle, so basically a brewer's kettle, and basically they've adapted it and put this pipe on the end to catch the vapors as it comes off, and catches it, and they catch it into an IBC. They then pump it into their spirit stills over here. These are their pot stills, and then their column still on the side, or their column that they've got on the side, they can attach that onto any of the pots to convert the pot into a column still. And they said even just with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plates that they've got on them, they can get up to 94% alcohol. Wow, 6 tiny plates in the space of a metre. It's incredibly high for a very small space, meaning the energy used to do so is less. All of their casks are ex-Madeira casks. Let's call them virgin Madeira casks. They're French oak, sent to Madeira, aging Madeira wines for 3 years, and then they're sent here. They age them in these for a year, and then once they've disgorged, they've emptied the casks, they bottle it, and then they send the casks off to a whiskey distillery for the whiskey distillery to reuse as well. All done in a very tight space. I'm convinced these guys are going to outgrow this space very quickly because they are seeing such success. This is going so well for them, and they are so passionate about this carbon capture. They're even delivering in these big plastic tanks so as to reduce the footprint on the planet, and then people return the plastic tanks. Everything here is all about carbon capture and energy and trying to be kind to the planet. Love it. Well, that was absolutely wicked. I am bowled over with the commitment to a cause. They have found their cause, they know what they're passionate about, and they are sticking to it. I hadn't realised their backgrounds as well. I mean, Ross's background is in chemistry and Gemma's is in sales for medical supplies, medical equipment. What a fantastic combination that is for setting up and running a rum company in the UK. But they're absolutely passionate about the planet, and they're passionate about climate change and removing CO2 from the atmosphere. They have put a lot of time and effort into working out their company's carbon footprint on the planet, and they can factually state that for every single bottle of rum they sell, it averages out that they are removing, as a negative impact on the planet, they are removing 75 balloons worth of carbon dioxide, which is phenomenal. Every single bottle they sell, which is a great visual way of holding on to what they're achieving. They've also asked their staff to get on board with this, and even in the way that the staff commute to work. Russ, for example, cycles, takes him an hour on his bike to get here every day. I mean, wow. It's all very well and good when it's a good weather day, but if it's hailing, icy, cold, that's a big round trip on a bike. Good for him. And all because it has an impact on the planet. But it's not just about the carbon negative, it's about the fact that they've got good quality liquid too. We had a sit down and a taste of their white rum, which is the best way to get to grips with what the distillery is doing, because it's unadulterated. There's no aging, there's no colour added, there's no flavourings added. It's just the rum that comes off their stills and then watered down. It's delicious. It's really high flavoured, quite estery. We talked about Jamaican rums when we were tasting it, because it's got some of that edge to it. I mean, the notes I was getting, I think it's very peppery, quite gingery, but also that lovely soft vanilla-y note as well. Really good. And I think they're doing really well. As I said, they're going to grow out of this space very quickly, because they are seeing huge success with what they're doing. And it's brilliant that a company with such a strong ethos is doing well. I hope that I can be a positive influence in the way that Gemma and Russ are with their company in the world. I hope that me and my company, we can have an impact in that way as well. Thanks very much for watching. Back in the car, gonna hit the road again. More from me soon. Right, thanks. Bye bye.